Hi guys, can you hear me? Let me ask. Because last time it was pretty unfortunate when I gave a very exciting speech, but nobody heard it. So let's make sure that you can hear me. But as I was told you can, so let's get started. Actually, let me, where's this Telegram thing? Yeah, wait. I want to see myself, yeah. So I look at my t-shirt, guys. I found a very nice t-shirt today because I spilled coffee all over me, and I was looking for something to change, and obviously I found a Waves t-shirt, which is nice. So I'm wearing this t-shirt the whole day. So, but it's a very nice one, actually, very nice make. I've never seen this type of Waves t-shirts, which is quite a surprise. So let's get started. This is Friday's AMA, which we have been doing for more than a year and a half without a single fail. I was told that we haven't missed an AMA for a year and a half. Maybe just New Year's Eve, something like that. Otherwise, we have always been very punctual with Friday's AMAs, no matter what happened. So let's get started. Last week and this week, there is a couple nice things happening in this ecosystem. Basically, we are having a first protocol, which is Neutrino, moving to Power protocol. And this is happening right now. There is this DAO initiation process that is taking place right now. You can still participate with your NSBT, which is governance token of Neutrino protocol, or with your XTN. And in exchange for your GNSBT or XTN, you get Power tokens, which are locked in the Neutrino DAO. And why you should do that? Because there is a donation of around 150,000 NSBT tokens to the DAO. And if NSBT price goes up, DAO just makes money and share the profits. Very simple. The goal of the DAO is to grow the value of NSBT token. And you can participate in that in many ways. Yeah. As a developer, as just some kind of community member that participates in some kind of brainstorming campaigns, because there has always been a lot of activity in the Neutrino channel with new ideas, new proposals. So there is many ways you can profit from this. You still have time to do that. I think the DAO will be finally initiated around Monday, because there is a separate proposal in the main DAO of Power Protocol to mint 200 tokens for the Neutrino DAO. And this voting is not over yet. So you still have time to commit your XTN or NSBT or serve tokens. You have to stake those serve tokens to participate. So I think it makes sense. And this is maybe this is going to be some kind of a historical event, because it's the first protocol moving to Power, which is awesome. And another great news, basically, we are starting PIT campaign as I speak. The promotion has started already. So there is a couple tweets posted in PIT's account to promote. And I think this is going to be fun. The goal is very simple. It's a game, so it's not a financial advice, because it's a game, guys. But the goal is to take PIT's price to $1. And this is what we want to achieve with bringing more people and having this campaign It's going to be like in 3 stages. First stage is like social media promotion. The second stage is trading contest, where you can participate in taking P to $1, and top 3 or top 5, I don't remember, top 5, I guess, traders in terms of volume get prizes in P. And there's going to be the third stage, which will probably help people not to dump it. Yeah, there's going to be like a staking stage where people who stake PET tokens participate in some kind of contest as well and get more PET. The campaign is called for PET's sake, and probably the staking part will be called for PET's stake. So let's get started, guys. Our goal is to take PET to $1. Help us. I think this is going to be fun, and this is just the first milestone for PET. And then I think we will take it to 1 waves, and then let's see how it goes. It's fun. It's not a financial advice. It's just like a community game, and there is some like nice tokenomics. I think basically, PET trading fees go to PET's buyback. It means that the supply will be reduced over time, and there's always some buying pressure. So it's not like I'm like advising you to buy PET just for fun, because there is some like underlying mechanics that should help its price go up. So basically that's it. At the end of this AMA, I will maybe make some summary of our plans for the next week. Meanwhile, to your questions, guys, please remember that now we are not in the FAT chat. This is like with official chat, and please be civilized at least a bit more than you are in the FAT chat, because in FAT chat you can do anything, but the activity there is quite low, and I'm not sure that we need to try to revive it. So let's see how it goes. Because you can do anything there, but people somehow like do nothing. So we are in the Wait official chat, and here some rules are applied, and there is some moderation. So be moderate. Ask me questions. See me, always ask good questions. Sasha, last week you said that building L2 is hard and has a community a little worried. Please explain if delays in launching might be heading our way. I didn't mean that. No. No, we are on track with everything. So basically, Waves 1.5 is like on StageNet, so it's not a public event. Testnet will be public, and it's coming. And after that, Waves 2.0, at least the part of it that is related to L2s, are going to be executed and implemented and launched. So ETA is the same as before, is January. So maybe not like a mainnet launch, but testnet should be in January. So this is the beginning of the next year. In any case, it won't happen before. It's like impossible. Although the setup is pretty ingenious in terms of like coding effort is not so huge, I would say, because some like ready-made parts are being reused, and basically we're not gonna code our own EVM. Obviously, we're gonna use an existing one. So this is going to be quite fast, but still it will require 3 months maybe. So prepare for the launch around January next year, January, February. In terms of like delays, I don't think there's going to be any delays. If everything goes according to plan, I mean, no new bad events, no new black swans. The launch will happen around January. Next question. Why not list in PET in some sects. It's a good idea. Yeah, so let's just have this campaign to bring more people to Waves. And then I think we could talk to some, I don't know to who, maybe some like Gate.io or KuCoin, guys like that. Rumors saying there will be new DAO at Power. Yes. I think there's going to be 3 DAOs at least that I know of next week. 3. It's like not 1, not 2, but 3. And one of them is WX, which is not a secret. Another one is a non-profit DAO that community members are preparing, and you could actually guess who. It's not too hard to guess. And there is a third DAO, also community based, and this is some kind of like grassroots effort of guys in the Russian FUD chat. And it's pretty interesting as well. I'm talking to them and like we are discussing different ideas, but it's like community based. I'm just like discussing with them just to help, basically, because my goal is to help things launch. This is my only goal in life. Yeah, FUD DAO, you're right. So it's like WX, it's FUD, and it's a non-profit. 3 DAOs that I know of will be launching next week. You disappointed Power? Yeah. Cool is asking about like, yeah, there is some guy who cheated the system, and I'm like, okay, some Indian probably guy or Pakistani guy who really cheated, like those anti-fraud measures. He's had like 1,000 or 2,000 Twitter accounts, which seemed okay, but they were like bots accounts. And then he just accumulates that power and just sells it. Like, okay. But okay, so we're not gonna let him do that fast. And we can do that. I don't think that we are like breaking some rules. No, we are not. Of course, it was like understandable that could happen because all those airdrop campaigns bring people who don't care much about the projects they get the airdrops from. But some people will stick. Some people will stay with us, So after all, we work like for the people, for all the people, also for the people who participate in the airdrops. So I don't think it was bad, So we saw some like real people coming to Waves, and some people will stick. Let's see how it goes with Pete. I think that like airdrop thing is more appropriate for Pete. For Power, it's kind of like, like Power is kind of like a serious project. But on the other hand, like it is a project for all the people. So I think airdrop to those guys who don't care about any projects still could make sense. Next week, WX DAO, yes, it should be announced because, like, as you know, we need to resolve this funding problem of WX. And I think this is like the last problem in Waves ecosystem, at least as regards to core projects. So all other projects get some funding from the DAO, from the Waves DAO, but not WX. And WX needs some funding because it spends more money than the rest of the projects. There is like 30 people there working on WX payroll. So it's a problem for me in the first place because I'm every 2 weeks I'm really thinking hard where to get money to pay them. I've been successful for almost a year now, but my my ingenuity has its limits as well, so we really need to make decentralization work And what we are doing now is we are implementing those approaches, decentralization approaches, under duress, under some kind of pressure. And they seem to work because Waves has been funded through the DAO Waves ecosystem since like February, and we are still moving forward. And I think it's very successful. It's not very successful, but it actually can be very successful because we were able to basically move the funding from centralized model to decentralized under very difficult circumstances. And we are moving forward, and Waves ecosystem is moving forward, maybe not too fast, but it still is. So I think it's a success. And now we just need to complete this process of transition. This is what we are about to do soon. Neutrino index XTN is at 9.9 cent, 9 cent and 3 tenths of, what's it called? Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah. As for Virus, I think we shouldn't wait, and because there is limits now, I think we should enable V1 vesting soon. It doesn't depend on me only. There is developers who are pretty busy, but I'll try to maybe next week enable it. And I checked today, as I saw 200K limit was not exhausted. And people are kind of it was exhausted for a couple of days in a row, actually. But now, today, for example, it's not. So there is some space, there is some room for V1. And without increasing the total XTN release daily, we will be able to start resolving V1 situation. But there is not going to be more XTN. The amount of XTN which comes from a virus will remain the same because there is 200K total limit. And it's somehow not exhausted, as I said. People are okay, they don't want to take XTN out at 10 cents. Probably they need more. It's understandable. Any updates on futures on WX? Yeah, we're working on the concept. Finalized it. I had some ideas I'll probably explore later because they were too, too fancy. So we decided to just implement more traditional futures. Perpetuals with funding rates. But in any case, it's pretty ingenious in terms of comparison to other projects. Maybe it will look a bit like DYDX. The closest in terms of setup is DYDX. And this is going to be traditional futures with funding rates, perpetuals. But it's not going to be like Tsunami, for example, or GMX, because there's going to be order matching. So it's more like DYDX or traditional futures where you don't have to open a position against other traders if you run a futures platform, because those DeFi products, they have to have some pool of liquidity that basically takes the other end of the trade, and it's quite risky in my opinion. So we're going to do it in a peer-to-peer way, which will make the setup quite safe for the platform. We want vesting for Waves. I think for all markets, it should be enabled for all the markets, not only for Waves but also for other assets. A brain blower bridge update. Brain blower. I'm not gonna comment on this phrase, please. My recommendation to Pepe team is to use ChatGPT. Just for like spell check and so, because brain blower is like something which I've never heard in English. But I know what it means in Russian, kind of like. So, have you spoken to the Stake Boosters team recently? Yes, they're moving faster. I did actually. I suggested that they would work with like a pretty famous developer in Waves, and basically with, him. Yeah, because I forgot to mention the guy who has been in Waves for many, many years, Dmitry Pichulin, officially started his like audit project this week. Dmitry has been in Waves since at least 2017. So it's for many years, and now he has his like official audit service directly on GitHub. You can reach out to him on GitHub, or you can find his contact there. He's a great guy. I think he is the most thorough guy I've ever met. So, because he will find all the bugs in your code. He's very thorough. I'm not thorough, for example. Yeah, because I'm like more like being easily distracted with many things, and maybe I can come up with some idea fast, but it's hard for me to implement it or to take it like to its logical conclusion. So it's like I'm a very distracted person. Dmitry is not like that. He's very focused, and I think he's one of the best security experts in the world, and it's really so. So if you want to code in the right programming language, if you want to launch a project on Waves, reach out to Dmitry for expertise and for the audit. Yes, and as for Stake Booster, basically I recommended them to work with Dmitry and maybe even get him to help them with some code, like writing, not auditing, but writing. But they told me they were good and they're moving faster than they had expected. And they won't launch in December. They will launch much, much sooner, maybe in October. So I think the Stake Booster is going to do fine. Dmitro, when Pete receives money from DAO, it will be used to buy Pete for $1. No, Pete is not receiving money from the DAO. No. I was thinking about something similar, but I reasoned against it. Or you mean marketing DAO? Yeah, so there's going to be some Pete spent to the marketing DAO for the campaign. 10K, I guess. Yeah, because marketing team has received funding from the Waves DAO, and now there is like power stakers in the marketing DAO. And the idea is to basically get funding from the Waves DAO, but also get some tokens from the projects. And in this case, like all operational costs are covered by Waves DAO, but there is some upside, which can be shared between the team. The team will take like 20%, and the power stakers in the DAO. And the power stakers will receive 80. That's the plan, because the team is receiving salary basically. Yeah, so it's nice to have some upside, and I really like the girls who are working there. It's all girls actually. Team, and it will be great for them to get some tokens. But they receive salary, so 80% goes to the DAO, and 20% will go to the team. And for this campaign, Pete has donated personally, of course, personally. He donated 10,000 Pete tokens to the marketing DAO. Warren, apologies if I missed. I'm late. What about withdrawal waves from Virus V1? I think I'll try to get it started next week. As I explained, there is this vesting in V2, which can be also done in V1 with the same limits without increasing the limits, because the limits for V2 are not exhausted. So without increasing the total XTN release into the market, we will be able to start resolving the V1 situation. Sasha is the idea guy. Yeah, maybe I am. Yeah, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that like everybody has his weaknesses and his like strong traits. What happens to waves domains? I think nothing happened as of yet. As you know, Keeper team is working on waves domains. And I talked to Max from the Keeper team. He was kind of like not very healthy, I would say, but he's okay now, and they should move according to the plan. Basically, launching their token now. And as for Waves domains, I think that I should talk to him again. Maybe it can be made into a separate project from the Keeper project, because I think that idea is like worth to pursue even without the Keeper part. I should discuss it with him. That would be an easier way to maybe launch something in terms of like tokens, because Keeper team has received some funding from the DAO, but they still need to launch their token, and they haven't yet. Okay, so more questions. Yeah, Axley team messaged me that they launched staking, but marketing is coming later on Monday. Staking for Axley token. A lot of people were very unhappy with quite like how to call it, lackluster launch of Axley. But Axley, I think, should be fine, because the idea is to make like the main aggregator for Waves ecosystem for all like liquidity farming projects on Waves. It has to be like one front end for all the other projects on Waves in terms of like yield farming. For example, you have Puzzle aggregator that aggregates all the swaps, and actually should become a yield farming aggregator. And to do that, the plan is the following. They are launching Axley staking now. The next step is to enable aggregation of some Puzzle markets. As you probably saw, if you follow Puzzle, they launched LP market, which is very smart, but nobody uses it because it's too complicated. Basically, you get a very high reward from your WX liquidity. Basically doubles your profits from staking your liquidity in WX. And Axley is going to do some kind of like a wrapper product where you will be able to deposit only one token to participate in this. Because to participate in LP markets, on Puzzle, you need to make several steps, too many moves, It's quite intricate and quite complicated. And the idea is to just make it very simple, create one entry point where you need to deposit liquidity in USDT or USDC and get the benefits of LP market on Puzzle, which has a very high APY. I don't know how high, but it's pretty high. And also, please pay attention to Puzzle. I think there is like a lot of people coming to Puzzle these days because the interest is quite high and the situation is quite stable there. So I think Puzzle is doing great. What about Waves DAX? Anything new? Actually, yes. Maybe you should ask Bram, because I'm like trying, not to be involved in the Docs project too much. Bram is helping me with the gateways, because we will take Pete to Ethereum, and Pepe team is too busy. They have their own pipeline, and custom ERC20 tokens will be implemented later. So Bram is helping me with bridging Pete to Ethereum now, and I'm talking to him. As for the ducks, I think the turtle character was very successful, and everyone I talked to has a very good feedback about the APY, about everything. I think we need more people there, and maybe if egg price could go a little bit higher, that would also help. But I think Pete campaign should help, because the main pool for Pete is Pete to egg pool, and if Pete price goes up, egg price should go up as well. Warren, hi Sasha. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm Warren. Yeah, I remember you, of course. Sure, just pin me. I'm in Dubai, and I think I'm gonna be there next week as well. So just pin me in DM and just come to the office, or we can meet elsewhere. Thank you. Just message me. It will be a pleasure to meet you. Bram is great. Yeah, Bram is very focused. He's a great guy. Yeah, and he's like Dmitry. He's not like me. Yeah. What happened? I want refund. What happened, guys? What's wrong? I just don't know. What kind of refund do you need, buddy? What refund do you need? Let me ask them, because I'm not in the loop. I saw your tweet about binaries market. Can you comment on that? Yeah, it's a separate team. It's a team like of Waves OGs. Wolf of Waves. He's been in Waves since probably 2016. And I haven't spoken with him for a while, and it was a nice surprise to see him back, because I thought those guys were long gone. But they are still there, and they are launching this like product based on Waves. Of course, it's like Waves chain, and it's a binaries market. You know what binaries are, probably, if you if you're a trader. So this comes from forex, basically. Usually binaries and like those binary options were launched by forex companies. You need to basically bet on the direction of the market, not on the price. Yeah, not on the the size of the movement. Yeah, as you do when you trade. Yeah, regularly. You just need to bet on the direction, and it's a little bit like gambling. It's very profitable for the platform, usually due to just probability theory, because people usually lose all their deposit when they trade binary options, just due to probability theory. Yes, but it's very exciting, just to bet on the direction of Bitcoin price without trying to wait for big movements. Just what happens in 20 minutes? Will it go up or down? Yeah, so I talked to the guys. They have this product almost complete. It's on the testnet. They're thinking about some IDO. They're looking for funding. I suggested that they could apply for the DAO funds, also connected them to some people who could help them with VCs. So let's see how it goes. I fully support them. I don't have any vested interest, of course. I don't have any vested interest in anything besides Waves ecosystem in general. So yeah, it's very nice to see them back, and it's always nice to talk to OGs and help them stay in the ecosystem. Waves domains. Oh shit, man. Let me just When is it going to expire? When? Tell me when, because I kind of like forgot. Let me turn the lights on. Give me a minute. Okay, sorry guys. I forwarded your message to Max. I'll find out for sure. Don't worry. Like, yeah. You know why? Because we paid in advance. So, it's always nice to pay things in advance. Sometimes this office was paid in advance, and that's why I'm not living in the streets now. So I have some roof over my head. If I hadn't paid it in advance, probably I would just hang around some Dubai beaches now. Which is also an option because it's very warm here, so you can survive. Yeah, but it was paid, so I have some roof over my head, and I even can sit at the desktop at the desk. So yes, but Midas I don't remember. So this is like, who are they? I know Keeper with domains well. Yeah, but okay, I'll find out in any case. More questions, guys? Galka, ask me something. You're typing very much. Yeah. Who were Midas? I really like genuinely forgot. I don't remember who they were because so many things happened in waves. Sometimes I'm losing track of some of them. Okay, Galka, who was Midas? Tell me. When I was taking off power. Let's just make it in stages because of that guy. So to make things decentralized, sometimes you have to make centralized decisions. So I know it sounds like crap, and it probably is, but because of that guy who abused the system, we will enable unstaking in batches. So not to crash the price. You will be able to unstake, and it would be good if those guys could just vote for the neutrino proposal, because there is like 300 staked power tokens, but people just don't vote, which is weird. So why have you staked, guys? And as you know, you will be slashed. You won't receive APY. This is like the first punishment. And if it doesn't work, we're gonna take your power tokens from you, and burn them, of course. So because the idea of power protocol is accountability. If people don't participate in voting, if there is voter apathy problem, it is resolved. It's resolved through slashing. I think that vote will get through. Don't worry, because it's if something is not working according to plan, we will tweak it, because power protocol is just starting. It's just starting up, and we will have to make some tweaks according to what actually happens. So if we see that something is not working, we will tweak it. So of course, this proposal will be accepted one way or another. So don't worry about that. Can you write to me after the stream? Sure, just message me. Midas Space. Who built Midas? I don't remember, really. Okay. I kind of missed them, so I probably that just came over my head. I don't know what shit they faced because I don't know them. So it's very hard for me to comment on that. Any word on the ERC XTN bridge? Yeah, it will be like released in batches, so people don't dump XTN. I think it's for your own good. Is there any ETA for other chains for Pete? As I told you, we are working with Bram on ERC20 bridge because he has one already. So we just need to tweak it to work with custom tokens. Yeah, Vladimir chimed in. Thank you. As I told you about Pepe Bridge, they have a lot of things on their hands, and their pipeline is really, is really tense. It's really like tight. Basically, what they need to implement is one USDT in Waves ecosystem, because now we have like several USDTs from different chains, from Polygon, from Ethereum, from Binance Smart Chain, and they need to implement one USDT. They did that actually, USDT PPT it's called, but now they need to create a way to issue that USDT using one token. And we were going to discuss it today. Probably we found some way to do that. The team found some way, Pepe team. And this is what they need to do now. So because it's going to be very complicated if you need to trade on Waves, but to do that you need to first send some like USDT from Binance, get USDT ERC20, and then trade that ERC20 USDT for USDT Pepe. This is like impossible. People won't do that. And they're working on a simple way to basically get that USDT PPT. And this is what they should do now. So I totally understand that, and I'll just try to launch this like Pepe bridge independently. But they will implement custom ERC20 tokens later. They have a lot of things to do now actually, because now in Waves you don't even have fiat. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but there is no way to basically buy anything on Waves with your credit card right now, and we should like make it work again. Otherwise, it's a problem. So they need to do this. They need to do custom tokens. They need to do one way to get USDT on Waves, other things for them. Yeah, interesting situation with Midas. I kind of like missed it. Okay, but in any case, Wave skipper domains are going to be functional. Don't worry about that, guys. there can be different domains projects, I guess, so you can actually implement domain name system in a compatible way. So you don't have to have one provider. So I don't think it was because of Keeper, like. Okay, guys, more questions? Thank you for bringing my attention to the domains. I think we should really try to make it work, because it works pretty nice on Ethereum. I'll find out. Thank you, Ali. Yeah. Too many things, so you're focusing on one thing, and it's, as you know, a lot of problems and waves, and you get stuck and you just can't do what you wanted to do, and all other things become forgotten. So it's like, sorry. When will we have the ability to play with the first version testnet StageNet? 1.5 is really close. I think it's on the StageNet testnet next week, maybe. I will have to ask. It's going to be pretty interesting. You will like it. And 2.0, in terms of L2s, I think December, you will see something working. Yeah. Some code you can play with and such. And the idea is simple. We're not going to invent the wheel, of course. We're not going to create our own EVM compiler. Yeah, so basically, so we're going to use an existing product. The idea is different, basically, to connect that L2 to existing L1, so in such a way that L1 benefits from it, and current miners will receive more profits because they're going to be also receiving L2 tokens. Is there any plan to make Power Protocol easier to use? Yeah. It's a very good question. We just don't have enough resource, because I can see a lot of problems with Power now. At least we could have some guides and tutorials, so and the marketing team is working hard on that. They basically published a couple articles this week which help people to use Power Protocol, but of course we need more, and also some maybe theoretical articles, because I can see a lot of power behind Power Protocol. It's pretty well thought through as regards, the basis, but the implementation is kind of not there completely, so there's a lot of work to do, basically. Yes, so we need to have tutorials, and I think after Pit campaign we will do that, because there's going to be the second phase of Power campaign, as I told you during the last AMA. That was the first part, and there's going to be a second part where the mother DAO itself will be promoted, and people will be able to buy Power and directly stake it in mother DAO. And there's going to be mother DAO treasury. And it's starting because now we will have those swaps, treasury swaps between, for example, Neutrino and the mother DAO treasury. So mother DAO treasury is starting, and also people will be able to deposit to the treasury directly by buying Power tokens and then participating in governance. So mother DAO should be big. It should be much bigger than child DAOs, child DAO should be like just like some kind of like children, connected to the mother, and the mother just encompasses all those children. So we should grow not only Waves DAO but also mother DAO, the main DAO of the protocol. Christoph, hi. GNSBT from self already staked. Don't need to do anything. No, you don't. If you have some unstaked surf, you need to stake it. If your surf is staked, you're good. Maybe we need some school for the whole ecosystem, Galka says, and I agree with her. And Galka wanted to relaunch Wave School, and maybe we'll do that. We should do that. Meanwhile, I'm not sure if I should say that, but Galka is about to launch a non-profit DAO, as far as I know. So, what's new in 1.5 in short? Basically, you will be able to run a node on a very cheap VPS, because you won't have to do any calculations. You will just be able to apply the state change, and like more powerful nodes will just distribute those state changes. That's it. So you won't have to recalculate all those smart contracts. This is more or less like zero knowledge proofs, but without zero knowledge. So you basically implement the state change and you don't have to do any calculations. This is the idea behind 1.5, like doing what is usually done with ZK without ZK. Yeah. So if you have like a powerful server, you keep all the chain, of course. But if you don't, you can just implement the state change and that's it. Yeah, there are very few power in the market now, but this is the idea. Power has to be scarce. Scarcity is crucial for power. Without scarcity, it's not going to work. So new power will be minted for some new DAOs, but it's going to be locked in those DAOs and released maybe in 3 months in batches. So our goal is to release power very, very slowly, so as not to crash the price, because price in this case is very important. It has to be scarce and valuable, otherwise people won't use it. So that's why I'm very cautious with issuing more power and releasing it, because people will just dump it and it will hurt the protocol. Do you think after L2 launch projects on Aladdin will lose their value or not? Vladimir Puzzle is asking. No, they won't, because it's like EVM. And you know that people have always been asking about when EVM on Waves, like for years, literally for years. And I think it's time to give them EVM and be done with it. So it's going to be some kind of like a separate part of Waves ecosystem. There's going to be a write part and EVM part, and they will interact, but hopefully they will be equally valuable, and maybe write part will still be more valuable. But on the other hand, people will be able to take their existing Ethereum projects to Waves. They will be able to code in Solidity. They will be able to actually even launch their own L2. Because our setup is not some kind of like a separate L2, which will remain the only L2 forever. No, so this is more like Cosmos or Polka, where basically anybody can launch their L2, EVM L2, and also probably Waves L2, like later. So if you want to, for example, run a decentralized exchange based on our DEX, based on WX, you might consider running it on L2, as for example DYDX does currently. So you might launch your own L2 based on Waves technology, not on EVM, and run your DEX with that L2. So I think that actually L1 will get a boost from L2s in terms of like profitability, because miners are going to be receiving those tokens. In terms of liquidity, because I think the transfer of liquidity will be direct, not from L1 to L2, but from other EVM chains to Waves L2. And from that L2, it will flow to Waves L1. So I think it's a very good thing for Waves L1. At least this is my thinking, this is my hope. And this is how we structure this. So we don't want to to phase out Waves L1. No, just on the contrary, we're going to develop it by enhancing it with EVM L2s. Yeah. You can have your L2, and I think we could actually make this process really simple of launching your L2s. As far as I know, it's pretty complicated on Polka and on Cosmos, but I think our setup will allow to make it very simple. But the miners will have to support your L2, basically, I think. So if miners, basically, there's like different ideas. We discussed it with the guys from the core team. My idea is that miners will have to vote for new L2s, and there is some like competing ideas, basically when everyone can launch their L2, and if he or she finds miners to support it, it's launched. But in this case, there is some like security risk, so it has to be treated with care, of course. Yeah, we can make XTN another layer. Don't make a new XTN. Let's just kill existing one first. Is there any use on what those Turkish VCs are doing? Are they going to launch anything soon? Is there a timeline? I think by the end of the year. Yeah, so it's not going fast, but it's still going forward. So they are like raising some funds now to launch a company in Turkey that will be implementing Waves technology in different projects. We are in touch, but it's not going fast. As for other VCs, it's complicated. I'm gonna make another attempt, another go at talking to VCs now. I have some like new presentations to send out. Let's see how it goes. But if possible, I would do without, guys. I just don't like them, and because they're kind of useless. Not talking about the Turkish guys; they're very nice, actually. When will be SWG audit finished? How much money approximately lost? So basically, what we're doing now, we are buying back those DPAC tokens with fees. And what I'm really focused on is like increasing those fees to make this buyback faster. Can child DAOs have their own child DAOs? Not at the moment. We need to think why, actually. So now, no. Embedded DAOs, yeah, I understand the idea, but for now, no. It has to be implemented and carefully thought through, because it's kind of like not clear why you need to have those like a Russian doll structure. Yeah. Duck DAO, definitely. I'm all for it. All S lost. Currently, there is only way to resolve this is buyback, unfortunately. If there's anything new, I understand, guys, that you're really pissed at Waves and me, but this is like the situation. So I'm like prepared for different scenarios here, and but what we can do now is buy back, like talking to VCs, and trying to resolve this as fast as possible. There is no other way, because there was some contagion from XTN, as I described in my blog post on Medium some time ago, and this is what happened. And there was like a lot of different things happening at the same time. And we probably made some like less than optimal decisions as well. But this is what we got currently. So what we can do is we can try to make this buyback work faster. And this is what I'm thinking about, like 24/7. When native BTC gateway again? You should ask Pepper team, but this is something that comes later, So because it's really hard to deal with Bitcoin currently, because it's very incompatible with DeFi chains, So, and I think they do it like deliberately. But in any case, I'm not sure that Bitcoin is gonna exist on Ethereum even, So because it's really like separate. So I'm not sure about like a native Bitcoin, because it's going to be very centralized, as you understand. And I wouldn't like to deal with centralized gateways anymore in my life. Maybe it's even better to do without Bitcoin at all than deal with centralized gateways. Nice idea about Puzzle DAO. No, why? BTC is not bought back either. No. How it happened, basically, people were selling like depacked stable coins and withdrawing Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that this contagion happened. This is how it happened. But as for Bitcoin buyback, the situation with it is not better than with Ethereum, unfortunately. Okay, guys, so probably this is a pretty bad question to finish the AMA with. So give me a couple more questions, maybe, to talk about some bright future. Yeah, meanwhile, okay, let me just review the next week events. Neutrino DAO will launch. WX DAO will be initiated. 2 community DAOs are coming. You should ask probably the guys who are like working on those nonprofit, and there is FAT DAO. You can participate in both. And PET campaign, guys, it's fun. Buy some PET, stake it. Try to take PET to $1 and get the NFT for the first trader who buys PET at $1. And that lucky guy will be receiving 5% of all PET fees forever. And actually, there was the first NFT for 0.1 egg price. It was sold for 1,500 waves, I guess. So like, so there's already some value in it. I know, because I was the escrow actually. But the next one will be much, much more expensive, I guess. So try to get that NFT and try to take PET to the moon. It's just starting. And participate in all the DAOs, guys, because we have to decentralize everything. decentralize or die. And I choose decentralize, obviously. So ride on waves, power to the people. Do you think this DAO is going to make profit? Yes, it will. I think it will. So maybe not this period, guys, because still we haven't resolved all those problems, and we still have not received the tokens from all the teams. But maybe the next period. So power to the people, ride on waves. I love you all, guys. Have a nice week. Speak to you. Wow, my nice t-shirt. Goodbye. See you next Friday, guys.